of places of detention and other suggested roles. This is already, like convening tribunal sessions, is already part of our regular activities. This is work we do. And actually, in the course of this, like the inspection of places of detention, you suggested they should be unannounced, and they are unannounced. Perhaps with the exception of prisons, once in a while we can inform the OC in charge of our prison within hours before we arrive. But other places of detention, we usually do not announce. We just arrive, or we just land.
Basement.
By the way, now that the Deputy President of NUP promised to return to us, I'm interested in knowing the location of the basement. I don't know whether it's one or several. So since you say you've been there, I wish to know where the basement is.
I didn't see where I was, but I know it's in Uganda. And they were announcing, the megaphones were announcing schools around Chitoro and even there.
I think you are the third person I have met who says they were held in a basement. The previous two people who I met, they failed to tell me where the basement is.
Madam Chairperson, I think, excuse me, the concept officers who practice this, and they have been on X and they have been come and explain. Because if at all the Constitution gives you power and you don't use it, you see the rest of the world sees it that the power has not been used, and the abuse continues to proceed. We cannot dwell on what the chairperson of NUP is talking about when there are people who are operating them, and they can come and testify, either in camera or in public, so that we know where our fate will be when we are taken anyway.
But chairperson, and you remember in the early day, and the government came out and denied the existence of safe houses. Also, until, because you as a commissioner, how would you know an ungazetted central facility? How would you know? How would the victim know an ungazetted facility? Your recourse can only be the law. There is a witness there. She says, I was in a basement. The responsibility is to get the information from someone. Those people, it's really as simple as that.
Yeah,
but publicly, there will be a denial from the authorities. The way they used to do. You remember when Muslims were being put in all these safe houses around town. So, an ungazetted means is outside the purview of any legal institution like yours. But the culprits, or those who run these facilities, fortunately are in the public domain. They may be very powerful people.
Yeah, but the powers are defined here in 53. In performance of its function, the Commission shall have the of a court to issue summons or other orders requiring the attendance of any person before the Commission and the production of any document and record relevant to any investigation by the Commission. To question.
When you recall, the former Internal Affairs Minister, when he was handing over to the current Internal Affairs Minister, he made a statement which most of us, I think, we took it for right. Because he said, I'm cautioning you, there is an extrajudicial killing within here, which I think that even the Human Rights Commission would have engaged him more to know exactly what is happening and who does that extrajudicial killing. So when we see our leaders being abducted and we don't even know where they are, when the old former Minister of Internal Affairs cautioned us that there is extrajudicial killing practices within, I think we should take this as a matter of urgency to know exactly what is happening to our people. Those we don't hear where they are.
Let me on the alleged extrajudicial killings by, I think Honorable Tafire mentioned specifically the crime intelligence. Is it a unit? Is it a directorate? Okay, the crime intelligence directorate.
Yeah.
Definitely, we took that matter very seriously. We wrote to Honorable Otafire a letter. I don't remember the date. We wrote that letter. Was it in May?
Yes, in May.
June? Okay.
In May.
Seeking further and better particulars. We believe that the Minister of Internal Affairs has access to information, perhaps which we are not privy to, by virtue of his position. We assume that he was because he posted that on X. We assumed that this was not random or just leisurely fun. We took that very serious, so I wrote to him a letter seeking to know the names of the victims, where the victims were picked from, who the next of kin for those victims are, and how we can reach them. I wrote to Honorable Otafire that letter. I'm so grateful that he responded. His response was, I think, 2 sentences. It was a very, very brief reply. But he pointed at some incident, and I have since brought this to the attention of the Directorate of Military Intelligence, of crime intelligence, and I gave them a deadline within which to respond. I think that deadline is, I think we gave them 2 weeks. But I addressed this letter to not to the Director, Crime Intelligence, but to the Inspector General of Police. We want some information from them. So this is a matter still under investigation. Once our investigation is complete, we shall make our report public. That's what I can say about what the minister called extrajudicial killings.